Hello everyone and welcome to some, as you can see in the bottom right there, Assetto Corsa. Yes, this is a game that I uploaded I think a few years ago now when I didn't have a simulation steering wheel. Over the weekend I've decided to invest in a simulation wheel and chair, which means I can now finally play Assetto Corsa properly without having twitchy controllers. In that video, I'll leave a link to it on screen now, it's me going around the Ebola-drome, the Grand Tour test track in this game, trying to beat lap times from the show. But now that I've got an actual wheel, I want to ask a question, which is, if the Grand Tour game wasn't to be an arcade game and was to be a bit more simulation, what would it be like? So today, I'm going to try and recreate the first episode of the Grand Tour. So, I'm going to do the Ferrari, the Porsche 918 that you can see in front of me, and the McLaren P1 around the circuit at Algarve and try and see how fast I can get the lap times to be. I'm then also going to drive around the Ebola-drome in the Ferrari 488 GTB and the BMW M2 and see if I can get close to their times. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. So, this is the first car we're going to drive, the Porsche 918. We're going to go for a rolling start, because on the show they had a stopped one. We're going to just see which one of the three is the fastest. We're going to do it a bit differently to the actual episode. We're just going to see which one of these can go the fastest around this track as we go blasting across the line there at 177 miles an hour, I think, into the first corner. You don't want to get that too wrong, otherwise you end up going wide and into the gravel. Same goes for this corner. Two very small corners there, but you get them wrong, there's massive consequences. This corner's a little bit more tricky if you are like me and a bit of a muppet with a throttle. Oh my god, I'm really pushing this now. Okay, third gear up into fourth as we go across the crest. You want to brake just as you go across that. Then you want to go into second gear for this corner. I think I've got that just right. There we go on the exit. Chuck it into third. We're going to chuck it into fourth in a second. This part of the track is very, very complex because there's so much elevation changes. You've really got to be on it as we chuck it down into second gear for this corner here. Don't want to put the power down too early, like I just did. Okay, into third. Now we're going back down again, only to come back up. Don't want to go too fast through here. Those are going to go wide. We've gone wide, but it's not too wide. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Right, second gear for this next part of the track as we go down. I love the elevation of this circuit. It's absolutely fantastic. This corner's a pain in the backside, though, because you can't see when to turn in. However, I think I've got that. Okay, I went a bit wide there and a bit slow on the exit. That needs to be worked on in the other track lap times. Okay, chuck it into fourth. There we go. We're going to brake just a little bit for the final corner. Try and keep it as maximum rev so we can get as fast an exit as possible. There we go. What's that? 130, 140. Just keeps climbing this thing. It's an absolute machine. There we go. 170 and across the line 152.891. That's pretty fast. I think I buggered up one corner there, and I could have gone around it quicker had I been a better driver. I'm still very new to this whole simulation setup thing. But regardless, a 152.891 is what we've got to beat. So, let's move on to the Ferrari. So, much like the Porsche, we've got ABS on, traction control off, and stability on at around 80%, which means I'm able to do a few of these slides. However, that isn't going to be too helpful because this is what I would consider to be the most difficult car of the three of them to drive in this game. Weirdly, it's not the P1. I thought this is harder than that. As we go into sixth gear and we're about to start a flying lap. Boom, across the line. There we go. Braking early for this corner again. Don't want to go too wide. This thing's an absolute machine. Okay, braking into second gear for this. Now, I do apologise if I am slow around the corners. I'm still learning. It'd be nice maybe to come back and do this video in a month or so's time to see how much I've improved. Okay. Into fourth, into fifth. We're going to brake at the same place again. The brakes in this thing are sharp. Okay, there we go, turning it in. Nicely done through there. 40 miles an hour. This thing is fast. Okay. Now we're coming into the more difficult part of the track. We're going to get more of the elevation here. Oh my god, this thing should be faster than the P1. If it's not, then it's purely down to my driving style. Did I say P1? I meant 918. Oh my god, this thing is ridiculous. Okay, coming up over the hill. It's a bit twitchy. I'm terrified to put my foot to the floor. Braking as we get over to the top of that small mound. We're going to chuck it into second for this. Power down the exit. Nice and smooth on the throttle there as we go up the hill. I don't know where the braking point is. I'm going to brake now. Oh! Oh my god, I got it right! I never get that corner right. That's amazing. Okay, so you need to brake at the end of those bollardy things on the left. That's my reference. Okay, into the second to last corner. Going to put my foot down to the floor. There we go. Right, final corner. 152.891 I think we've got to beat. I've got no clock on screen, so I can't see. It's all going to be what appears at the bottom of my screen. Here we go into sixth. Flying down the start-finish straight with a 1 minute 50.903. Wow, that's 2 seconds faster. Wow, that's insane. I do feel like maybe I've gotten a bit better. Like I've started to learn. I especially got that corner right. I got the apex bang on, whilst on the Porsche I went quite wide with that turn towards the end of the lap. But regardless, 150.903. So let's see how good the P1 does. So, final car of the three, the McLaren P1. This was originally my favourite of all three of them. That was until I went to Goodwood and ended up seeing the 918 in person, and then I thought, damn, that is a sexy car. Not to say that the McLaren P1 isn't. In fact, all three of these cars are absolutely gorgeous, and I think they're fantastic vehicles. But this is a test to see which one's the fastest, driven by me, of course. So here we go, coming up to the start-finish line. Going to chuck it into sixth as we go across the line. We're going to brake hard for the first corner. Don't want to go too wide, and also you don't want to go around that down that ramp too fast, otherwise your car will take off due to the fact that this car is sucked to the ground like a slug. That's not the best analogy, I know. Okay, keeping it nice and close around there as the back end steps out so slightly. There we go, power down to the back straight. Fantastic. Okay, into fifth we go. We're going to brake just as we see the apex appear. There we go. We're going to try and clip this in. That felt good. Going to try and not slide on the exit. That's terrifying. Okay, fourth gear. Again, we need to slow it down for this part of the track. This is where it gets complicated, as Avril Lavigne would say. Okay, nice. Turning it in. That's a nice line through there. A bit bumpy, but nonetheless, that's a corner done. And sometimes that's what's important, as long as you get around it. Okay, I don't know why I'm in fifth. I probably shouldn't be. Braking as we get to the top of that little hill. Want to get into second for this corner. Try and absolutely ace that. That is brilliant. That's what I wanted to do. Now for the most difficult corner on the track, in my opinion. Brake when we see the yellow and white barriers. Turn it in. Turn in too early. That's annoying. However, that was a good corner, I'd say. This feels like a good lap. This feels fast. Okay, final... no, not the final corner, sorry. The second to last corner. There we go. Get that done right. Nicely done. Okay, now for the final corner. I want to get this one bang on if I can. Okay, here we go. Wait until it's right to put the power down, like now. Absolutely floor it. Foot down to the floor. Fifth gear, 150, 160, 170, 180 as I go across the line with a 152.1. Wow, that is... Wait, is that the second fastest? I think that's the second fastest, which means the fastest is the Ferrari, which is what I expected. However, I think the Porsche should probably be the fastest. I think I just probably drove it the worst. But regardless of that, it appears that the fastest is the Ferrari, McLaren is the second, with the Porsche then being in first. So what I think I'll do is in a few months' time or so, I'll probably come back on this game and try and give it a go. On my simulation racing skills have hopefully improved. Now, however, we're going to head to the second part of the episode where we drive a Ferrari 488 GTB and a BMW M2 around the Ebola-drome. Okay, so I did a video on this before. This is the Ebola-drome mod for Assetto Corsa. It's the Grand Tour test track, and it's absolutely fantastic. So, much like what they did in the show, I'm going to drive around the track and show you guys what it all is. I'm sure you're all aware of it, but look, it's an excuse for me to drive a 488 GTB sideways, so I'm not going to turn that down, am I? Here we go. Off the line we go. A lot of wheel spin as we go into second gear. There we go, we're into third now. Onto the Isn't Straight. Called the Isn't Straight because it isn't straight. There we go, fourth gear as we go past the Deers. Okie doke into fifth. Going to brake hard for this though as we turn in to Your Name here as I go a little bit into the flowers, but that's fine. That's not fine though. Right, here we go. Your Name here. Let's try and get the back end out. So here we go. Plant the throttle. Oh, look at this. This is wonderful. I don't think this car actually went round the track for a timed lap, which is quite weird. But regardless, I can show you just how much fun it is to drive. I do apologise for any of the cinematic camera angles playing up. The way that the person has created this is to make it a two-way system. So when I'm on this side of the track, it thinks that I'm on the going to Your Name Here side. So the cameras play up a little bit. But regardless of that, we go into Old Lady's house. This is a bastard of a corner to try and get right. There we go. Onto the exit of that as we go down to substation. Flat out down here. We're going to brake hard though as we go onto the new tarmac. Feel the new grip on the new tarmac as we come into then Field of Sheep and plant the throttle as I go quite wide, need to kill a sheep, and across the line. So that's the 488 GTB around this track. I hope you understand what the track kind of looks like. But now we're going to try and beat the Americans' time in the BMW M2. This is where things get a bit tricky. You see, this is a modded vehicle, and unfortunately, I can't get the same colour BMW M2 that they have in the show. So I've kind of let the video down to that degree. However, the lap time for this was a 1:62.2. So as long as I get that time or less, I'm in the clear. So, traction control is off. ABS, however, is on. Stability is on 80%. Let's do this. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Got a wheel spin off the line there, trying to be easy on the throttle. Okay. Here we go. Coming down to the Isn't Straight. Going to lift ever so slightly there. Going to chuck into fourth as I dab onto the brakes. Try and carry as much speed as possible through here. That felt good. Okay, this corner I usually struggle with. I'm going to brake early. Chuck it into third. Turn it in nice and early. Here we go. I'm much better at driving around here, surprisingly, than I am at the Circuit de Grasse, whatever it's called. Okay, turn it round. The Your Name Here complex. Gone quite wide. But there we go. That's done. Ooh, I think we just got air. That's weird. Okay. Third gear around there. That's a 80, 90 miles an hour as we chuck it into fourth as we go past Bambi on the right. Squirreling a little bit under braking as we go 80 miles an hour at the end of the Isn't Straight. Gonna chuck it into Old Lady's house. This is a tight part of the track. Back end stepping out there. We don't want that. Turning in once again. Okay, as we power on down to substation. A little bit of sliding action there from the rear end of this car. Okay, braking hard. Don't want to go too far off. Oh god, this thing is slidey. Second to last corner, powered down, taking it wide and across the line with a 125.054, and then the show it got a 126.2. So there we go. I'm better than the American, and this time round I was actually using a steering wheel. So there we go. Either this game has an inaccurately modelled track, or I'm just better than the fat American guy that they had for that show. Regardless of that, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. That's been the Grand Tour Season 1, Episode 1, recreated in Assetto Corsa. If you want me to do more episodes like this, or more videos like this, please do let me know. This game has got a crap ton of tracks, a crap ton of mods. Some of the challenges, obviously, I'm not going to be able to do, like making John go through Mongolia. But I'm sure I'll be able to drift some muscle cars around abandoned American muscle factory or something, try and recreate that. Who knows? But there we go. Leave a comment down below, guys, if you would like me to do this. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this as well. It really does help me out. And as well as that, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. But until the next video, guys, I'll see you then. But until then, goodbye.